Good evening, good evening, good evening. Today is still Monday, March 31st, 2025. Back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, as if we don't already have enough on our plates, as we don't already have enough that we're dealing with. And I thought about, now I'm not going to talk about this, man. We already got it, you know what I'm saying? But would I be right to overlook this for the people that don't know that this is happening right now? Because it's not all over the news. So there's a lot of people going on about their daily lives don't know what's going on around the world right now. So would I be right, because I'm tired of talking about all this bad stuff that's going on, to just overlook this? Don't say nothing about it. Just, no, that's enough. That's enough. We're dealing with enough. Don't talk about it no more. I can't do that. So I'll let you check this out.
President Trump delivered an ultimatum to Iran over its nuclear program. Come to the negotiating table or face military consequences.
The president threatened to bomb Iran if it doesn't cooperate. CBN Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell reports.
Trump's warning came in an interview with NBC News over the weekend. He said, if the Iranians don't make a deal, there will be bombs, and they will be bombs like they've never seen before. Iran rejected Trump's recent offer of direct negotiations and left the door open to indirect talks. The UN agency overseeing Iran's nuclear program says the regime has sped up its uranium enrichment and now has enough that's just one step away from creating 6 nuclear bombs. In the meantime, the U.S. is noticeably building an armada of B-2 and B-52 bombers in the Indian Ocean at the joint U.S.-UK base of Diego Garcia.
Keep in mind the B-2 bomber was essentially built specifically to bomb the nuclear facilities in Iran. They have the capability of lifting what they call a massive ordnance penetrator, the largest bunker buster bomb the United States possesses.
CBN News military analyst Chuck Holton says President Trump's statements are unprecedented.
The real question is, President Trump has said that if Iran does not come to the negotiating table within 2 months, that there will be military strikes. He said that repeatedly, not even equivocating at all. That there will be military strikes on Iran. That's something the United States has not done before, so this would be pretty historic.
Iran announced they would attack the base if the U.S. takes military action against Iran. On Sunday, Iran's supreme leader called for the destruction of Israel.
It's a religious, moral, and human duty for everyone to work toward removing this wicked, criminal entity from the region.
In Jerusalem, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sent a message to 3 major terrorist enemies.
Regarding Hamas in Gaza, the military pressure works. Regarding Hezbollah in Lebanon, there is very firm enforcement, very firm, without compromise. Regarding the Houthis, I greatly appreciate the action of the United States, our ally. They're handling them very strongly.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Attention to what the Iranian leadership is saying. So in the face of, we're going to bomb you if you don't give up your nuclear plans, you don't come to a negotiating table and say, we're not trying to acquire nuclear weapons. In the face of that, they double down and they say Israel has to be eliminated, it has to be wiped off the map. That kind of ideology you just can't dismiss and say, well, that's just talk. It's not just talk. It is what they have adhered to for decades, and the reason they have have put so much funding and weapons into the hands of Hezbollah and into the hands of Hamas. It's all based on that ideology to wipe Israel off the map. we've become distracted in the West, and we have voices on our college campuses saying Israel is trying to have some kind of genocide. No, Israel is just trying to exist. Have some kind of genocide. No, Israel is just trying to exist. It's the other side that wants the genocide, that literally wants to wipe them off the map. If Iran gets nuclear weapons, they will absolutely use it on Tel Aviv. We have to pay attention to this. This is a clear and present danger.
Now, we have already, whether y'all know it or not, we've already struck them. The Houthis or whatever, they backed by Iran. So we already start bombing them. You don't hear much about that. We've already started bombing them people. He said if they don't come to the table, you heard what he said. And they, instead of saying, okay, we're going to talk about it, they're like, no, bring it on. I normally would say, stay out of that stuff over there. You know, that's not our business. Leave that alone. I normally would say that. But in this case, dealing with old people, you dealing with a group of people, religious fanatics. If you think the Christians, them diehard Christian Bible thumpers are out there, they ain't talking about bombing nobody. As obnoxious and annoying as a diehard Christian can be. Have you heard about your Lord and Savior Jesus? As annoying as they can be, they ain't talking about bombing you though. They ain't gonna bomb you if you don't believe in what they believe. They're just gonna annoy the hell out you and tell you you're going to hell. But when you're dealing with these people, Iran, they take it to a whole other level. And those the type of people you cannot allow to have nuclear weapons. People that believe they sent on a mission from God to destroy everybody that's not like them, the infidels. That's not all Muslims, but it's those Muslims. The majority of Muslims believe in peace and not, minding their own business. Those are a different type. Those are fanatics. You cannot allow them to have nuclear weapons. So you might say, well, damn, if they bomb Israel, they're going to die too. They don't care. They do suicide bombing. They will unalive themselves for the greater good. Because they're going to get 7 virgins or something, whatever they believe. Like I said, I don't agree with going around the world, policing the world. We need to mind our own business. But this one of them times we can't. You cannot let them people there. Because if they do, we're going to be in it anyway. Because they're gonna jump. We're trying to prevent World War III as best we possibly can. Because guess what? If a major war break out, America is cooked. We don't need no major wars. Have y'all seen our military lately? Have you seen who's in our military? Hi. Well, I don't really feel like I'm a man. I feel like I'm a woman. And I still want to be in a uniform and serve my country. No disrespect. But that was in our military. We ain't gonna survive another war. We don't need to go to war. Don't believe me? Check this out.
Inflation, a recruiting crisis, aging equipment, and years of budget cuts. All factors weighing into a nonpartisan 2023 U.S. Index of Military Strength. Heritage's conclusion, The United States military is not prepared to meet the current threat environment of an increasingly dangerous world.
We assess the overall status of the military as weak, and that's meant to convey a level of gravity.
Breaking down the findings by branch, the Army comes in at marginal, seen as aging faster than it's modernizing and much smaller than needed. The Navy rated as weak, with a rapidly decreasing fleet. A similar rating for the Space Force, which lacks the capacity to manage the explosive growth in space we're seeing from other countries, while the Air Force rates lowest at very weak due to retention issues and aging equipment. The only bright spot among the branches being the Marine Corps, with a strong rating, having adapted well to the needs of today. U.S. nuclear capability is also rated and determined to be strong thanks to a bipartisan commitment to modernization in that area. Index editor Dakota Wood says as of today, the U.S. military as a whole would struggle to meet the demands of a single major conflict, let alone engage on multiple fronts.
So if we got involved in some kind of a NATO-Russia thing in Europe, and you really had to focus on that because of interests and obligations, then you don't have an ability to do anything in the Indo-Pacific. And so if you were China and you look at a tied-up America, wouldn't that be an opportune time to then try to retake Taiwan, right?
Wood says while funding is the ultimate problem, it's also the solution. In order to get the military back to fighting strength, spending would need to increase, meaning the defense budget would need to come in significantly over the rate of inflation.
So it's going to require both parties, and it's going to require both branches, the legislative branch and the executive branch, to agree to dramatically increase defense spending.
The Defense Authorization Bill for 2023 gives the military a record $858 billion, $45 billion more than President Biden requested. While that keeps pace with inflation, Wood says it falls short of what's really needed.
It's going to take many years of serious investment to get things back to where they should be.
America's adversaries, meanwhile, are steadily increasing investments into their military might.
You're seeing the Chinese military on track to triple, not double, triple the amount of nuclear warheads it has on station. They are outbuilding us in ships at a rate of 5 to 1. Their Navy is on track to be almost double the size of the U.S. Navy. By the end of the decade, their Space Force is launching more. We've seen what Russia's doing, Iran marching towards a nuclear weapon. We can go around the world.
Representative Mike Waltz, a House Arms member, says it's time for the U.S. to stop playing catch-up.
You're going to see this Congress work to get, and this Republican-led Congress to get the Pentagon back on its core mission of war fighting, of deterring wars by appearing strong to our adversaries. That's how you keep the peace.
Wood warns that's usually easier said than done.
In other words, we're screwed. We need both branches to work together. We're screwed. So President Trump, I understand we need to do whatever we can to make sure Iran don't get nuclear weapons. But we're in a position to fight nothing. Don't lose sight of that. You know what you need to do. But right now, that ain't what we're able to do. We need to bomb the hell out of Iran. But we're in a position to do it. I know you want to do what we're supposed to do. But right now, we ain't capable. If you do it, we're going to lose. We're going to have liberals fighting against you every chance they get. Not letting the kids go to the military. Well, you just name it. We ain't ready. Yes, the right thing to do is to make sure Iran don't get nukes, which I think they already got them. But we can't do this by ourselves. We can't do this by ourselves. Where everybody else at? Because our military done went to crap. We are not the fighting machine we used to be. Y'all see the stats, the Army weak. All of them weak, except mine, the Marines, as usual. We're headed for World War III. And as I always tell y'all, we this far from it. And I tell y'all, prepare yourselves. Because the help, they ain't coming. If some break off around here, it's every man for himself. Our military, they might be looking to us for help. We might have to go back to the Paul Revere days. The days of America being the most powerful military on the planet, them days over. You see China outbuilding us 5 ships to 1. Oh boy. Just when you thought it couldn't get no worse, here we go. World War III, right around the corner. And we still bickering among Democrat and Republican. Get it, got it, good. Bye.